I've been interested in the Casey Anthony case, like a lot of folks, since the day the media started covering it. And so I have been listening to the Fry hearings, and there's speculation that George is going to serve as the scapegoat to hopefully get Casey off. And I remember when the case was first got started, how they were looking at Jesse Grund as possibly, the scapegoat. So it's just real interesting how this case has evolved, where, as it's gone along, whoever they've pointed the finger at, it just wasn't going to work, and now it comes down to George. And if you remember in the beginning, before he flip-flopped what he said to the officers and the FBI about Casey. So, and it looks like George and Cindy are cooperating with the defense on some level with this strategy. That's just kind of what I'm reading into it. And so I wonder how his initial testimony will play out versus what his testimony is now. I was listening to Cindy here recently, and from her testimony, her memory of the events isn't very clear. And basically, what her statement is, if it's something that can be documented that I said, then, I probably said it. But at this point, I don't know if I said something or not. It was a very stressful situation for me. And I think that that's the position that both George and Cindy are going to have in this matter. From day one, Kaylee has been pretty much forgotten. It just became a circus, and it just has never stopped, with all of the high-profile defense attorneys that have been on the case, have come and gone with their own agendas. And just how this case has evolved is just pretty interesting. So it'll be interesting to see how the trial goes. I think the Fry hearing is kind of giving us a look at to how the trial is going to go, and I think it's going to be a long trial. I think that both sides are going to just make this a very tedious process. And by the way that the Fry hearing went, I can see where it's just been a mess between the defense and the prosecutor, just trying to exchange the information that they need to move the trial forward. And Jose Baez, throughout this whole thing, I'm just really surprised that nothing more has come from the way that he has handled himself throughout this case, that he hasn't, his tactics haven't been looked at more closely. I understand that he has a client to represent, but I think that he has been in violation of many ethics and protocol while handling this case. I think that he's had many conflicts of interest, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens after the trial, after Casey is sentenced, because I believe that she will be found guilty. I'm not entirely sure that she'll get the death penalty, but I do believe that she will be found guilty for the death of Kaylee. So it will be interesting to see what all of these high-profile attorneys are going to get out of this case, because I just don't believe they're just doing this for nothing. I don't. I think that there's going to be books written, memoirs published, and I don't know what kind of interest will be out there. I mean, there was a lot of interest in this type of information in the beginning, but I don't know how interesting it would be to purchase a book on it, because the trial is just going to play itself out, and people will just that are following are going to get first-hand knowledge. But it'll be interesting.